Hi everybody, how are you all doing today? This is BA Bad One, and today I have for you a video about Azuma. She is the little black duckling we got in the 2020 November campaign, that buffed into a beautiful white swan. In June of 2022, getting some considerable upgrades on her main battery, namely 2 seconds faster reload, 600 HE damage, 500 AP damage, 18.5% AP penetration, turret 180 degrees traverse 4 seconds faster, shell grouping improved by 7.5% and slightly reduced dispersion. The only thing that got worse was the AP ricochet angles being 45 degrees instead of 50 degrees. Normally one wouldn't use her as an HE spammer per se, but the Witherer medal requires alternative measures. So here we are with the Suzuya build. Although Suzuya has a much faster rate of fire, the boost of 8% to her fire chance can be more significant, and I have seen a game of 37 fires with Suzuya. But Azuma can take a bigger beating, and her high fire chance base can get you a fire pretty much with every salvo, making her a prime candidate for the medal. Remember, Witherer requires you to have 60,000 damage done by Fire of Flood, so the idea is to set fires to several targets and let them burn. Any enemy that uses his damage control party becomes a primary target to set permanent fires. Remember that you must try to let them burn, so afterwards you should mind a different target. Obviously battleships are the prime candidates, as burn damage is HP total percentage based and their DCPs reload much slower. Remember, this is a specific build to get fires. Normally one should use Isoruku Yamamoto to get a little more focus on AP, or the Asia lane Azuma commander herself, as her AP shells are also quite good. One must always choose the best ammo for each situation, and her AP on broadside targets really slaps. She is also a great AA platform, so whenever you division with an iCraft carrier, feel free to use Arpeggio Blue Steel Takao as her commander, with Asia Lane Montpelier and Ernest King or Taman Yamaguchi as inspirations. Alright, so we have reached the alpha cap, and we can already tell this is the enemy's strong flank, for the amount of targets available. Good thing it is also our strong flank, to keep things balanced. So obviously, enemy destroyers are a priority. Other than that, it's the Albemarle we should attending to, as her radar can be a big problem for our team's destroyers, mainly our division mate. Good thing he have an HE focus, as she is angled enough to bounce our AP shells. If we are lucky, our right side's teammates can have better shots with armor-piercing rounds on her. Our teammate on the Sommers took a nasty torpedo hit from the Delny, but not to worry, as he has still more than enough health to fight until the end of the battle, showing why it is so dangerous to leave destroyers alive and why one should be more careful while using one, especially when a sneeze can take you to Davy Jones' locker. One of the problems with Azuma's long reload, even when improved, is that it takes a lot of time to switch shells, so you are kind of always on the fence thinking, when is it a good opportunity to do so? Here we had the Albemarle broadside to us, behind the island, but the Delny kept popping up from time to time, so even if we were not focusing on using HE, that would still be the best pick. We got focused a lot up until this point, showing Azuma has great survivability. Our division mate destroyer pops a smoke in the meantime and comes to our position to smoke us up, allowing to get a breather for a while and get some health point back. Props to him for the great timing. So, now we stop firing for a while to see if you go undetected and let the heat on us reduce. That Albemarle is barely alive, but can still detect us if he uses his radar, so caution is advised, as we can be spotted at any time soon. It would be great if one of our teammates would finish him, but no such luck. After seeing that we start to capture the base, meaning the Delny is no longer around, we can go back to shooting to see if we get detected by anyone. And since the battleships are the only available targets, it's time to actually start working for the Witherer medal. We shoot from smoke, but we are still detected, meaning the Delny is still close by, and so we must retreat a little bit, to try and use this island as cover. Delny gets detected in the meantime on the other side, and I hope, this time our teammates finish her. As you can see, we are far enough from enemies, allowing us not to get detected while firing from smoke. This makes the team work even better. And after capturing this base, victory is slowly turning to our side, as this is the second base we capture, while also having the third on being captured in the meantime. However, the first ship to go down is a cruiser from our team, and it seems that the enemy's weaker flank is doing its best to contest Charlie, and even capture it in the future. Delny is still roaming around, also dragging the little amount of health she has left, so I tried to press on to get the job done. Unfortunately, she disappears before I shoot, so I miss every shell, as not having a focused target gets your dispersion 50% worse. Since Delny is again out of the picture, back to the battleships we go. Good thing we are still undetected, and can continue to harass them without too many worries. Charlie Cap is now being lost, as the battleship we had there decided to not contest it anymore, since he was being surrounded and tried to go for the enemy battleship in front. Always remember to keep an eye out in the map, as map awareness is very important to get a feel on how the battle is going. We get a fire in the meantime on Atlantico, so let's see for how long it will be lit. The smoke our teammate placed for us has now ran out, so back on the frying pan we go. As we try to get another fire on Atlantico, he uses his damage consumable, putting OU previous fire out and avoiding that we get a new one altogether. Charlie Cap is now lost, and the enemy Albemarle is still contesting this one. Balance in points is now set, as he have one less ship. We only have a points lead thanks to the time we had cap superiority, reason why it is so important to push the objectives early on. It's easier to defend them than to get them back from the enemy. Albemarle is finally taken out, and this cap's points start to accumulate again, but our battleship down at Charlie got taken out by the destroyer there. In the meantime we return our focus to Atlantico, as she is now a prime target for permanent fires. If we are lucky, we may even get Delny to show up, so the team can push in relative safety. Here is probably where most of the contribute to the witherer medal will come out of, as we set 2 permanent fires in Atlantico in a single salvo. One of the reasons you should always keep your ship moving comes from this salvo we take on our side, as we could have been easily citadeled if we were completely stopped. The problem is that the enemies at Charlie now have no one to face them, and I get caught in a crossfire, so evasion maneuvers should be made. Good thing that our destroyer on the other side manages to that out the battleship that shot me, leaving me to mind this other Atlantico that still has a lot of health that we can farm. We will be able to get a fire burning on her, as we notice the previous one is about to burn out, but manages to repair just in time. We do shoot her to get the finishing blow, but miss her entirely. The Pullman is looking very good to set a fire as well. Guess it was very lucky that the triple battleship division came to this side as well. Otherwise it would be harder to get the witherer medal. Our division mate in the Ochakov manages to get the final shot on the first Atlantico. That is one nice ship for a witherer as well, and great to work together with to make the enemies use their damage control parties. As you can see, this is basically the strategy: set a fire on Atlantico, set a fire on Pullman, try to set another fire on Atlantico, and so on. And like on his division mate, the previous Atlantico, we set another 2 permanent fires on a rather healthy battleship, farming a lot of burning damage. Pullman was luckier, as we only set 1 fire on her. Anyway, as the battle goes, we now have a ship, cap, and points lead, meaning we are on a very good way to a win, as we give chase to these battleships and our other flank is holding their own. It's a very good example to not abandon flanks and fight for them. If you are ever on the weakest one, you should try to avoid the enemy from taking the cap as much as you can while you wait for reinforcements, as well as push to the cap when you are on the strong one to go and help your teammates as soon as you can. Here is where we get the medal and complete our objective. I hope you are enjoying this video so far, and request that you give it a thumbs up if you do, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, remembering to activate the bell if you don't want to miss any new videos. Oddly enough, we are able to boost all of the heroic objectives in this battle, but the witherer medal was really the only one missing to complete it. As you can see, the Confederate medal is soon to follow, and the high caliber one will also be awarded soon. At the end of the battle you will see that we are also within the top 3 players, as necessary, too. I prefer the heroic missions that are dependent on your base XP at the end of a battle, but at least these ones are fairly obtainable by your own, with some effort, not requiring luck or non-kill yoinking teammates. The other ship I got a witherer last week is Bayard, by the way. I do have a double strike game in her, but I am thinking to post another one to showcase her, where I got more base XP and credits. And so, we are down to the last enemy and very close to the end of the battle. As you can see, our teammate Destroyer is still alive, meaning he took a kind of lucky torp in the beginning of the battle, but ultimately was never spotted and did a great job to help me and the team overall. So if you are in a destroyer, please try to stay alive and help your team, at least by spotting alone. Obviously, if you can also get some caps and rid us of enemy battleships, that would be great, but this last one is kinda secondary. By the way, if you do not have Yoshino, she is very close to Azuma, but also has 20-kilometer range IJN torps, so you know they pack a punch, in a launching configuration similar to Atago's, forming an X. By the way, remember the high caliber medal. Also, I forgot to mention that the Commander Atago from Asia Lane has been said that will not be returning due to a real situation with her voice actress, so if you don't have, I suggest you go with the alternative Isaruko Yamamoto build. It's a shame when other factors influence the game, but such is life. And that, as they say, is that. It was a very fun and relatively balanced battle. We tanked a lot of damage for our team, thanks to our great survivability as a super cruiser, which allowed our team to push in relative safety and overcome the enemy. Please let me know about your feedback, comments and questions in the dedicated area below, that I will answer them all. Also, please share this video and the channel if you can, as it would help the channel grow and I will be very thankful. A great result both in credits and base XP. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, good games and goodbye.
Our team depends upon you.
Much obliged, Commander.
That's how it's done. Nice work. Good game, everyone.
Bye, have a great time.